Hi, it's Auto Claims Guy. Today we're going to discuss, are you at fault for a claim? So, when we look at fault, what do we mean? That means that we've taken a look at the jurisdictions and we have determined that the person is at fault for the accident. They are negligent for it. Their negligent act, according to the jurisdictional laws, led to the accident. So, you're going to hear a lot of terms thrown around by claim handlers. They will tell you that you had the greater duty. They will tell you that you failed to yield right away. They will say things like, according to the jurisdiction, you are barred from recovery. All these words are very scary for people. So basically what claim handlers are doing is you call into your insurance company. You said, listen, there was this horrible accident. I don't know what happened. Can you help me? I will say to them, yes, I can help you. Let me make sure that you have a policy that is current. That means that you're insured. You are the name insured, or you're a permissible driver, or you had permission by law to be in the vehicle. Some states say that if keys are left on a kitchen table in a shared household, that is permissible use. So I will determine if the driver is covered. So there's coverage. I will ask you what happened. You will say, well, there was this guy in front of me and I hit him. And I will say, okay. So I will take a look at the police report, and it looks like that the guy in front of you stopped suddenly in traffic. He went into your lane, he stopped suddenly, and then you hit him. In California, the comprehensive negligence, I would put about 30% on you. So that means I'm saying that 70% is that you should have had proper lookout. 30% is on the other guy because he shouldn't have made an unsafe lane change. And then I will work the claim according to that. What does that mean? Basically what that means is that I will pay the other person's claim, but only to the percentage that our insured is negligent according to law. So if you go into other jurisdictions like Texas or Georgia, you're dealing with 50 to 51% bars recovery. So that means that if you are 51% negligent for the accident, that will bar 100% of your recovery. If you are 50% negligent in some jurisdictions, that will bar 100% of your recovery. Places like Virginia, it's 1% barred. That means if you are 1% negligent, you are barred from 100% negligence. So you have to look at the different jurisdictions to determine where you're at. If you're negligent to the point that it bars your recovery, or if you're, let's say that you're just sitting at a stoplight, somebody rear-ends you, the police come by, give them a ticket for failure to have proper lookout, and everything looks good. And so what I will do is I will send your claim to the subrogation department. Subrogation is a department where they will go to the at-fault party to get recovery for their claim. So that leads to the very interesting question of, should I go through my own insurance? So it depends. So would you rather be right, or would you rather, go through the hassle of going through somebody else's insurance? Because the claim adjuster on the other side is going to make sure there's coverage. And for a lot of policies, with a lot of the lower fee insurance companies, the way their policy reads is that they will only insure the person named insured on the policy. Not if the name insured gives his keys to his girlfriend and his girlfriend gives it to his cousin, there's no coverage. So you will have to go. So you would have to go through your own insurance, and then the insurance company will go through a recovery process. Unfortunately, that's what happens. In places like Louisiana, it's a no pay, no play state. So that means that if you don't pay insurance, if you don't have an insurance policy, then you're barred. You're not going to get recovery. Places like California has the Prop 213, which means if you're uninsured, then we will owe. If you're uninsured and not at fault, we will owe your medical bills only, but not pain and suffering. So you really have to take a look at the different jurisdictions. That's why it's never a good idea. When you're at the scene of the accident, it's just happened, you jump out. That's why it's not a good idea to say, I'm at fault, I'll pay for everything, I'll tell my insurance company to give you the limits, and that'll solve the problem. Well, no, because this is why claim handlers are licensed. Is because we have to look at the jurisdictions, we have to look at the laws, and we have to determine, according to the facts, where does the evidence lead us, who's at fault. If it's a disputed lane change, and it's in California, I might do like a 50-50 if I'm for sure it's a lane change. A lot of times there's no evidence, there's no police report, there's no independent witnesses, there's just word versus word. Also, you have to think about, everybody says, well, if I go through my insurance, my rates will increase. Well, your rates increase for a lot of different reasons. Age, location, gender. If you've added drivers, there's a lot of different reasons. And basically, if you have a low deductible, then I would just, I've gone through my own insurance myself, paid my $250 deductible, and then let the insurance deal with the whole mess. It's just, for me, it was just easier. So you really have to think about, if you want to be right or just be happy. So you pay these premiums for, 15, 20 years, you have an accident. The first thing I'm going to do is call my insurance company and say, hey, you owe me a rental car. I want a Cadillac. I want a gold trim Cadillac that's 35 feet long. So, you need to decide what you want to do. But there's a lot of factors that go into whether an insurance company or not will accept liability. And, like I've said in other videos, it's not always the police report. That's a part of it. I've talked to witnesses. Everybody thinks that, they have a witness. Well, I've talked to witnesses, and the witnesses, say all the right words, but they don't have the right location or the right time. Or, it comes across that they're friends of so-and-so, or they work with them. So there's all kinds of issues that play into it. That's why claims adjusters always tell people I need to investigate. Unless it's, I was at a stoplight, somebody rear-ended me, I call them up, they're like, yeah, I rear-ended them. There's a police report, yeah, he's at fault, I gave him a ticket. So that's why we want to stop making statements at the scene. It gets back to, and this is going to sound harsh, but don't speak about things you don't know. Just say, are you hurt? This was awful. Our insurance companies will work it out. Let me get your information. I'm going to take some pictures of your license plate, of you, of your passengers. I'm going to document.